Hi, and in this next video, we're going to work on the bass, the component of any track that's very, very integral in regards to its movement, also its engineering, and also how it sits with the kick drum. I think a pitfall that all of us get into is, oh wow, I've got a great track, now the kick and the bass don't sit. Well, one way to get around that, and one way to have a bit of vision ahead of getting into the engineering process, is to actually have your kick pitched very accurately, which we've done in the previous video. We've got it. Where are we? Let's have a look again here. G, and it's in the key of G. So basically, if you're going to have a bass line, to have a simple G, for example, which we can do there. Actually, before we do that, we're going to switch on all of our mixing channels there. So basically, we can have a listen. And hang on, that's just clipping a bit. So let's take the volume down. We don't want anything clipping. Let's take the volume down. But basically, we have something that's in G. So before we write any patterns, we're just going to notice that this is a little bit too high to be a bass. So let's take it right down. Let's go to G1, which is where our kick's sitting. And you can hear that is actually working quite well already. We have a very mono sub sine wave note working together with our punchy yet also bottom heavy kick drum. They're both in G. There's no real issue between their frequencies. They sit very nicely together. And before we write a pattern or get groovy with our bass line, we're just going to engineer it a little bit. So let's play it again. Okay, detune shape. Let's just take detune shape off completely there, and let's actually bring it down another octave. So you're going to have a sound. Okay, we're clipping a little bit here, but let's worry about the sound. We're going to put. Usually I do this a bit later to bring the volume down, but let's take the kick drum volume off a bit. Let's go over here. Let's add a utility to both of these tracks. Utility is a great little feature in Ableton, and it allows you to put it in your chain of an instrument here, and without altering the main volume here, we can just bring the gain a little bit down here, provided you're not clipping anywhere. The thing is, you don't want to clip on any channel, ever. You want to get it close to zero sometimes, because you want the maximum sound. You don't want to be using a virtual microscope later to drag your sounds out. But anyway, let's listen again. There we go. So not clipping, got some nice little bit of headroom there. And let's just fatten up that sound slightly, not too much. Let's keep it mono, let's keep it quite precise. But what we're going to do here is change this to sync pulse. Let's take it down, detune it slightly maybe. There we go. And we've got a third oscillator. Let's create a voice there. Let's go to sub saw. There we go. Take the cutoff off. good bass sound. And this is the point where we'll just erase that pattern, create a new one. This is where you can jam a little bit. You can start with the kick and we'll just have a little bit of a play around. So bear in mind, I mean, if you don't know chords, you can look up on the internet these days. Perhaps you want to create a minor chord with G as a root note if you want to get really technical. But with a bass line, if you just want this real groovy, hypnotic thing, 2 notes, 1 note. Look, 1 note's not going to really get you so much groove, but I would say that 2, 3 notes in a bass line, really not too loopy. I would say that you want to repeat itself maybe every 2 beats or over 4 beats over a bar, and just jam around until you get the bass line that you want. And, you know, let's just have a listen for a minute. Highlight the track, record. Anyway, there's limitless options what you can do there. I'm not going to show you my keyboard skills because that's not what we're here to do today. We're here to record a pattern. So let's just record. And click in here. Control A, depending on which platform you're using. Let's get it a little bit bigger looking here. Let's just quantize that so we get it nice and in time. Just double click, opens up that menu, quantize. You can change your quantize settings. But basically, just a little live jam there. You get a little bit of a bass line happening. You can experiment for hours. Maybe you just got the inspiration on the spot. Best is record it, get it in there. Play around with the sound a little bit. Kind of groovy. Now I'm just going to keep that one up here. And what I like to do is I go through, I maybe do 10 different live jams and 10 different bass lines, and I go and add a bit of percussion a bit later, and it's more the creative process there. You just want to jam a bit. You want to get the feel because your body's moving, your hands moving, making the bass line. It's a whole package of a thing, you know. This is where the inspiration comes from. But you get to a point, let's just change the color of that. You get to a point where you know what you want to do. You know which notes you've got. And I'm just going to draw in something that I jammed a little bit earlier, which is these notes. I'm going to use G over 2 octaves. It always provides some good movement in a bass line to use the same note but over 2 different octaves. Just going to do this. And the other note, D sharp 1, which creates a nice chord. And we'll just fold that. So there we go, 1, 2, 3 notes. We're going to add another one in here, just like this. And yeah, this is the little ditty, the little bass line that I came up with for this track. And there we have it. The bass is ready to go. We'll do some small adjustments later down the track with arrangement, with editing and with effects and whatnot. But we have the kick and we have the bass, and they sit pretty cleanly together.
Thanks everybody for watching, commenting and indeed liking. We really do appreciate all the support we get here on our Sonic Academy YouTube channel. So if you found this video super useful, please, we'd love you to hit the subscribe button. We update the YouTube channel every week with new content. And if you want to watch some more relevant content, just click on the videos beside me.